Chia. Joseph Charles Bonnano, born Giuseppe Carlo Bonnano, January 18, 1905, May 11, 2002. Sometimes referred to as Joe Bananas, was an Italian-American crime boss of the Bonnano crime family, which he ran from 1931 to 1968. Bonnano was born in Castellammare del Golfo, Sicily, where his father was also involved in organized crime. At the age of 3, Bonnano immigrated to New York City with his family, where he lived for about 10 years before he moved back to Italy. He later slipped back into the United States in 1924 by stowing away on a Cuban fishing boat bound for Tampa, Florida. After the Castellammares War, Salvatore Maranzano was murdered in 1931, and Bonnano took control of most of the crime family, and at age 26, Bonnano became one of the youngest ever bosses of a crime family. In 1963, Bonnano made plans with Joseph Magliocco to assassinate several rivals on the mafia commission. When Magliocco gave the contract to one of his top hitmen, Joseph Colombo, he revealed the plot to its targets. The commission spared Magliocco's life but forced him into retirement, while Bonnano fled to Canada. In 1964, he briefly returned to New York before disappearing until 1966. The Banana War ensued and lasted until 1968, when Bonnano retired to Arizona. Later in life, he became a writer, publishing the book A Man of Honor, the autobiography of Joseph Bonnano, in 1983. Bonnano died on May 11, 2002, in Tucson, Arizona. Bonnano was born on January 18, 1905, in Castellammare del Golfo, Sicily, to Salvatore Bonnano and Catherine Bonventre. Joseph's uncles, Giuseppe Bonnano, and his older brother and advisor, Stefano, led a clan in Castellammare del Golfo. The clan's strongest ally was the leader of the Magaddino clan, Stefano Magaddino, the brother of Joseph's maternal grandmother. During the 1900s, the clans feuded with Felice Buccellato, the boss of the Buccellato clan. After the murders of Stefano and Giuseppe, their younger brother Salvatore took revenge by killing members of the Buccellatos. In 1902, Magaddino arrived in New York and became a powerful member of the Castellammares clan. When Joseph was 3 years old, his family moved to the United States and settled in Williamsburg, Brooklyn for about 10 years before returning to Italy. His father had returned to Sicily in 1911 and died of a heart attack in 1915. In 1921, Magaddino fled to Buffalo, New York to avoid murder charges. Bonnano slipped back into the United States in 1924 by stowing away on a Cuban fishing boat bound for Tampa, Florida, with Peter Magaddino. According to Bonnano, upon arriving at a train station in Jacksonville, Bonnano was detained by immigration officers and was later released under $1,000 bail. He was welcomed by Willie Moretti and an unidentified man. It was later revealed that Magaddino was responsible for bailing him out as a favor for Giovanni Bonventre, Bonnano's uncle. Bonnano first worked at a bakery owned by his uncle, and later took up acting classes near Union Square, Manhattan. He had become active in the mafia during his youth in Italy, and he fled to the United States after Benito Mussolini initiated a crackdown. Bonnano himself claimed years later that he fled because he was ardently anti-fascist. Bonnano became involved in bootlegging activities. He operated a distillery located inside an apartment building basement with Gaspar Di Gregorio and Giovanni Romano, who was later killed in the distillery due to an accidental explosion. During this time, boss Salvatore Maranzano took a liking to Bonnano and became his mentor. In 1991, Bonnano's daughter-in-law, Rosalie Profacci Bonnano, published the memoir Mafia Marriage, My Story. This book was eventually converted to the 1993 Lifetime Network film Love, Honor, and Obey, The Last Mafia Marriage. Bonnano was portrayed by Ben Gazzara. In the 1991 film Mobsters, Joe Bonnano is portrayed by actor John Chapoulis. In 1999, Showtime produced a biographical film called Bonnano, A Godfather's Story, released on DVD as Youngest Godfather. The film chronicles the rise and fall of organized crime in the United States. Bonnano was portrayed by Martin Landau. In 2004, Joe's daughter-in-law, began putting Joe's personal items up for auction on eBay. This continued until 2008. In 2006, episode 66 of The Sopranos, Members Only, Eugene Pontecorvo wants to retire and uses Joe Bonnano as an example of a retired mob member. Also in episode 76, Cold Stones, Tony mentions that Joe Bananas went to war against Carlo Gambino for 7 years. In 2009, Joe's cousin, Thomas Bonnano, participated as a mafia expert in the filming of Deadliest Warrior, Mafia vs. Yakuza, demonstrating his skills and marksmanship with a Thompson submachine gun, as well as talking about true Sicilian mafia philosophy and culture. In 2014, El Dorado,